Before we begin with tonight's demonstration at North Star Watercolor Society, I thought it would be a good idea to show you what my objective is for tonight. And so I have on the screen here a picture that I have taken with my camcorder, and then I put it on the Adobe Photo Elements and put it on Artistic Filter and then Paint Jobs. And then there you go ahead and you start to remove the detail from the picture, so you can see the big general shapes that that make up the composition of this particular picture. The artist that usually paints, that you don't see on their paintings, is this underlying abstract design that is here on this in this picture. Most of the time we will squint at the subject matter to see the shapes better and see the values, and with the help of the computer it was much more easily to do. One of the things too was that when you go to paint this, sometimes I will draw out the simple shapes as you see, and then I'll turn it upside down and I'll paint it looking at it that way. Now when I do that, what happens is that I'm able to see the shapes as shapes and not as a boat or a mask or a flag or whatever, or a dock. The left brain turns off because it can't identify what that shape is, and the right brain just sort of helps you in saying, oh, that's a shape there and that's another shape there. This is another looking shape. And so by doing that, you're able to be able to paint the picture. But for tonight's demonstration, you'll see that I'm going to be painting it in this particular way, and it's also going to be reversed because you're going to see the demo through a mirror, and it's going to flip-flop both of these boats. Now after I am done with this particular type of painting at this stage, then I flip this off and I go to the next one. Now this one particularly is, if you notice here between these two boats, how simple this one is in the taking it down without detail. And then this one I bring up a little bit more detail within the boat by just eliminating some of the paint dabs that I did on the Adobe Photo Elements. This particular way of painting is basically almost like a painting in itself, because as you come up close and look at this, you will see that they're just dabs of paint, big smaller shapes than the first one, but they're not really detailed, because if you look at this, then we have the detail that I have right here that would show you what the end result would be. And you can go from here to here, and somewhere in between you'll want to stop with the detail so that your picture is more artistic, more towards your expression of the scene than to just duplicating the scene as it is. So now, if you look at these three, just to sum up what I just did, this is the way the artist sees and paints. By squinting your eyes, you'll be able to see the simple shapes and values. I did this through the computer. But going from here, once you get this, you lay on detail, which is the center picture, which the artist would like to accomplish. And then you have the full detailed picture over here of this boat that will give you more information if you need it. I think you should stop in between, somewhere in between these two. to get a really an expressive
Thinking the other day when I was out watching my
let's turn to the
grandchildren play soccer,
demonstration for tonight.
there was a beautiful sky. And in the past, I would rush home and try to duplicate that sky that I remembered, or I would take a picture of it and try to duplicate it. I was thinking now that is watercolor painting. You know, it really isn't. What watercolor painting really is capturing something on the paper that has just evolved. You see, not something that you can, you go by your past and your experiences you bring to front, but you've got to recognize what's happening here on the paper as well. And so that beautiful sky that I remember is not really what I'm after. I'm after something that's going to happen here tonight. I did the videotape, you know, of Eric Weigert, and it is here tonight. He did say in there he likes to take chances with his watercolor instead of the safe bet and knowing exactly where he's going. I think the further you walk on that limb, out on that limb, the better your painting is going to be. And there are times, and there might even be tonight, where it will be a complete failure. That's okay.
It's just paper.
It's just that don't misjudge me. I just wanted to. But my disappointment in people that buy paintings is they buy them for the wrong reason, I guess. I can't say it's wrong. It's a good reason. But it's a reason that I think is shallow. I like to buy a painting because it has some expression to it, and one of a kind, and has that, what I'm saying, has something that we have captured in this thing. Now, well, I guess it is there. I got 3 photos. This is the first photo that I'm going to work with. This photo was taken in Alabama. And the way the artist sees is by squinting to see the big shapes and values and colors. Okay, so in this particular thing, I took it on the computer, put it on Adobe, went down to the filter, artistic, and down to paint dabs. And went into the paint dabs and started to manipulate the image so that I would only have a pattern left for me to follow. No details at all. And so my goal tonight is to follow that religiously. But not as religiously as you think. First of all, I'm going to start out with just a little bit of color.
He's not following it religiously.
And in doing a process like this, you've got to have fresh color. I was telling my class today that the reason why it's running for you and going all over the place is because you don't have enough pigment in your brush, and all you have is water. And so you've got to have that pigment nice and juicy, and so it'll go over the page. Now, I'm looking at my sketch. This is a blue sky, and you see I've already changed it. And so I'm going to bring this down to here and lighten it up. Throw a little bit of Windsor blue. Ooh, that's nice. See, I didn't expect that, but that's okay. Well, I see what I'm doing. You notice I have a cloth here to pick up the moisture. And so I can go down here very, very freely. Go in here. I was amazed at what Weiger could do in the time that he was doing it. Weren't you?
Yep.
I was just amazed. And so that's my goal too. My goal. Who knows? I'm going to try to save some of these nice bright blues in here that I want to keep coming through. Okay. I used to buy Kleenex. I don't buy Kleenex anymore. I buy toilet paper, take the center roll out, and it becomes my Kleenex, which works kind of neat. I'm just going to calm down here and concentrate on what the devil I'm doing. Everything is not coming out exactly the way I wanted it. But as I said before, it's just a pain. Now I got that side over there. Now this paper is damp, but I'm also putting a kind of a dry brush on this. And when you try this, you will see what I mean. I didn't realize I had to change the color so much on my palette tonight. I practice this at home, obviously, and I didn't seem to have to do this as much at home. But here I am.
Did you complete one at home?
Yeah.
Did you bring it?
Yep.
Good.
Sure did. I'm not stupid. If this fails, I've got something I can
Turn the lights out and you put the other one in.
show you. Yes, sirree. What's neat about keeping that paper wet is that it stays wet. Okay, now I told myself be real deliberate on this because this is something that needs to have some clarity to it. Less water, obviously, and I'm not getting it.
We can't hear you back here.
Less water! And more color, more in the butter or cream stage. And you want these colors to have something happen to it, you know? Instead of just painting a barge, you wanted to bring it down with a lot of different colors inside of this, instead of just brown. Okay, so I'm bringing that down and look at my little sketch down there, a little thing here, and try to duplicate that. Bring in some of this coming down in there. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, now what I'm doing is just what anybody else in this room can do. You're copying this little baby just where it's at. And still, I haven't been working too long, have I?
No, you're doing fine.
Did you misskip some of the areas?
I did. I missed only a few things, and the one I'll show you later was not missed at all. But I felt that I think I should do some misking. Pick it right up. What I like about this is it already abstracts it for you, which is really wonderful.